friends, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Trina, and in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you my Techou Kaigi for 2025, all of the journals, notebooks, planners that I'm going to be using for the coming year. So as of filming this, it is currently November, and I know this is kind of a bit early to film a Techou Kaigi since I recall that last year I actually added a bunch of other journals like in mid-January, but since it is like the planner plans that I am going to be using for 2025, I guess this is an okay time to talk about them because I think I have like a solid idea of what I want to use for 2025. And my goal for this year is actually I want to be more mindful of the number of notebooks that I am using are like for memory keeping and such. I did look up the number of notebooks that I had in the beginning of 2024, my Techou Kaigi for 2024, and it was actually 13 notebooks ongoing. So I will talk more about what worked, what didn't work in 2024 in another separate video for that. I will link it down in the description if it's already up, but if it's not, then do stay tuned for that because I have a lot of thoughts. But for 2025, I want to be a little bit more mindful, a little bit more minimal when it comes to my notebooks. So as you can see here right in front of you, there's only 5 as of the moment. So we're going to go through this, and I will do this in a way wherein I normally will do, like how often I will use these notebooks, because this may be minimal, but this is something that I will tend to not use every day except for a few. So let us begin. The first one here is something that is carried over from 2024. If you have been here for a while, you would have seen my 5-year journal. I do flip through these. This is a notebook, undated day book, 365 day book, and I do have stickers of my friends here at the front. Here we are. This is just a dotted 365 day planner day book, and I repurposed it into a 5-year journal because it has a hardcover. So I just put the date at the top, and then I just write in here in fountain pen. I wanted to use fountain pen for all of my entries in this notebook. For 2024, it was kind of rough actually to be using this notebook because I tend to not put this at my side, like my bedside. Supposedly, if I want to make this as a habit for like journaling every night, like 1 or 2 lines every night, that summarizes the day, that should have been ideal. However, there are some months in here that I haven't really completely written in as the day went by, and I had to catch up. But while I was thinking of my Techou Kaigi for 2025, I actually was 50-50 with this notebook, whether or not I will like take a break from the 5-year journal. Since I made it myself, I could always like skip 2025 and just write 2026 here if by the time I will want to use a 5-year journal. However, I was thinking like 2025 may have some fun and memorable moments, and I don't really want to skip out on recording those moments in a 5-year journal. So I'm just going to suck it up, and if ever I cannot do like daily journaling in this, I will just catch up. I will just force myself to catch up because that's what I want at the end of this 5-year journal. So year 2 in this day book for 2025, kind of scared but also kind of excited. The next 2 notebooks here in front of you are actually my whenever journals. So these are the types of journals that sit on my cart or near my bed, and I only write in here whenever there is something to be entered in these notebooks. So there is 1 or 2, actually 2 notebooks missing from my whenever journals. In the past, I used to have an anime review journal as well as a manga journal. Those notebooks tend to be whenever I finish an anime, like finish watching an anime, a movie, or whenever I finish a manga series. That's when I write in those notebooks. However, since July of 2024, I tend to be on and off when it comes to reading manga and watching anime. So I skipped it for 2025 in my lineup because I was not actively using those notebooks for quite some time. So they are absent from the Techou Kaigi for 2025. Who knows, they might make a reappearance in the middle of the year, in my mid-year Techou Kaigi, but that's like a long way into the future. So these two are my whenever journals that I officially add to my 2025 lineup. One little one is my make book. I actually have a lot of pages left in this notebook. This used to be like my list making book back in college. This is from Papa Melrotti, 100% recycled paper, and this was just in my bag during college, and I did not find any more use for it after I graduated. So this became my make book, which essentially is a notebook full of my notes of all of the projects that I made, both crochet and knitting. And what I do here is that I list down all of the stuff that I made, when I made them. I write patterns in here, like copy out the patterns, because sometimes I want to look at patterns more than watch the YouTube video tutorial for them, and sometimes I would want to make more than one. So it's more convenient for me to write down the pattern on paper, and sometimes I even write the pattern in a way that is easiest for me to understand rather than copy it from the YouTube video tutorial in itself. But yeah, this is my make book. I started it in 2024, still have a lot of pages, so this is being carried over to 2025. The next one here is my 2025 reading journal. I am retiring my 2024 reading journal, and I will have a full flip through of that notebook when the time comes. But I have already set up the new reading journal. Just a little bit of a sneak peek for you guys. It is something. So I've already, as of filming this video, I've already filmed the flip through setup of this notebook, and yeah, it makes me super excited to use this for 2025 and to fill out all of these grid pages with all of my readings for 2025. And yeah, this makes me happy actually. I have sticker sheets in front here that I covered in its original packaging actually, and just stuck it in here as my cover. I did not want to like take it out of the sticker sheet and then stick it in here. So yeah, that is my reading journal. And then the last two notebooks here in front of you are my dailies. One is for memory keeping, which is my Kinbor weeks in Bamboo Grove, I think is the name of the design at the front. I have my first impressions video up already, and I've already set this notebook up. In that video, I have more detailed videos of like the insides of this and how I will use it for 2025, as well as my setup for the yearly in this notebook as well. I keep talking about these setups and videos that are coming out. I don't know when they're coming out in relation to this video, but if the videos are out, I will put all of the links down in the description because they are a lot of fun. So I have my A6 Kinbor here. I have used this in 2024 as my daily writing journal, and then I just did not keep up with it, so I ended up making this into my 2025 bullet journal. So you will see more of these two notebooks moving forward once the year has turned over, and I'm just super excited. There's a lot of I have a lot of ideas for content in these two notebooks, and I hope you guys look forward to those videos. And with those 5 notebooks out of the way, I actually have one more notebook that I would like to share, but also this is something that some of the pages are private, so I'm just going to skip over those pages. But this is like the only video that I will show this notebook in. It is actually my 2024-2025 work journal. So it's just a, what do you call this? Line paper notebook that I made into a work journal. So let me, off camera, flip to a safe page. Now, my work journal actually houses not only like schedules for work, paydays, when I work, whether it's a whole day, half day, or I was absent, holidays. But it also houses all of the phone numbers of like people who availed loading services. That's like mainly what I use my work journal for. So there are a lot of phone numbers and names in this notebook. So I tend to like, after 2025 or after I filled out this notebook, I'm going to like rip this notebook apart. I'm going to tear all the pages because I will not keep phone numbers of other people in my life. But it also houses like payments for security services, social security services, I mean, and also like health insurance and such. I just keep track of everything in here, but also like spending trackers and savings trackers. So flipping to a safe page, this looks like a mess. Like you can see, there are a lot of mistakes when I made my yearly calendar. However, this is going to be like just a tracker of whether or not I work a full day, a half day, or I was absent or there is no work. So I just copied the whole 2025 calendar in here. And as you notice, only January has a Sunday. The rest doesn't have a Sunday because I only work Monday to Saturday. So yeah, you might think it's weird if I work on Sundays, but my aunt owns the store, and so I help her out of the store as my work. And on January, like the month of January, there is always a festival that spans until the evening of Sunday. So that's why I have Sunday here for prep work and for the festival itself. We tend to close at around 10 p.m. Or 11 p.m. even if there's still a lot of people out during the festival. And the festival is usually centered around near our street. That's why we open. The next one here, I should have covered this. Like the next one here is a savings goal tracker. So for example, how I use my savings goal tracker is, this is only one page because rare is the case that I deposit in a bank. But my goal for this is that I want to save 50,000 pesos, Philippine pesos, for the year 2025 in my bank account. This does not count for me saving money and keeping it just at home. These are like for the bank. So when I deposited the amount, and then I will just minus the amount. For example, I saved in January 5,000. So I will minus this amount here and bring it down, and I will need to save 45,000 on the next time. Like I'm going to trickle it down. So basically this is the goal, and the goal is to hit 0 at the end of the year, something like that. The next page here is a calendar. I need to cover this. So just simple calendar. I highlight all of the Sundays. I'm going to write like anniversaries, birthdays, whatever here as well, just to ground myself, like what day it is. And then for Saturdays, and also like the 15th and the 31st here is usually my payday, so I just highlighted it. On the other side here are tasks, and the one that I folded in is actually a video to record tracker, because I just want to put down all of the videos that I wanted to film for the month of January. So that's why I need to keep it hidden as an element of surprise for you guys. And then this is the last page of, or the last spread that I made for my work journal, basically a spending tracker. Like the darker one is for home, like stuff that we need for home. That is how I annotate or notate it. And then the unshaded circle is for personal, like stationery, stuff that I wanted to buy, Pokemon cards, something like that. So it's item, amount, and the refund part is actually for, specifically for home. Like my dad sometimes actually refund the amount to me if it's like very big item, and it goes to our house expenses instead of my own pocket, something like that. So sometimes I help out, sometimes I don't really need to get refunded, but sometimes it's just a super big amount that I need, like, or else I'll go 0, something like that. So that is like a short explanation of my work journal or work planner. This is so dirty because it has been beaten up and battered at the office as I work. So yeah, just a sneak peek of the work journal. And that is it for the Techou Kaigi for 2025. I'm super excited actually for these journals. I'm super pleased that I was able to compress it to just 5 notebooks, well 6 technically, but 5 notebooks for memory keeping and journaling purposes for 2025, because 13 notebooks is kind of overwhelming. I have to be honest with myself. I was overwhelmed in 2024 with the amount of memory keeping journals that I have. I had 3 or 4 rather. I have the monthly, I have the monthly memory keeping, like the monthly view only notebook. I had the 5-year journal, and I had the Cozy and Chaos binder. So there are a lot of notebooks and journals that like have redundant information, and I'm very pleased that I am going minimal this year and only have 5 notebooks. I might end up adding like 1 or 2 more in the middle of the year, who knows, but so far, for now, going into the new year strong with my goal of being mindful of the stuff that I'm using, so not to overwhelm myself. And so that is it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. So until then, guys, take care and bye.